Talofa lava. I'm happy to hear of your focus on our American Samoa Constitution. It's an important document. This is a great topic for you to study, and I know you'll find it interesting. As with any constitution, it's deliberately difficult to change. The reason is that a constitution is meant to be a rock of stability. It ensures that our laws and the rights of people cannot suddenly change direction beyond the confines of what the Constitution allows. So, American Samoa has a constitution. Under it, we have major differences from the other territories. For instance, the way we select our senators and our land tenure system. These are unique to us in all of the nation. In contrast, Guam and the Virgin Islands have an organic act, and neither of them operates with a constitution. However, every U.S. state has its own constitution fitting in within the framework that the U.S. Constitution establishes as to what powers belong to the national government and what falls under state and local governments. American Samoa really has a one-of-a-kind relationship with the United States. It is special in several ways. That can be a difficulty because Congress tends to look at things with a one-size-fits-all approach, especially as the federal government has developed in the modern era into involvement in local schools and roads and really most parts of life, particularly providing a safety net for people when they go through a hard time. These are good things that developed over time, but can cause points where the local government and the national government have different ideas. Constitutions help resolve those situations by establishing principles that are purposefully slow to change. Our American Samoa Senate has just passed a resolution saying they'd like a change in the current U.S. public law to allow them to pursue potential changes in our territory's constitution in the future without the backstop of Congress. Change seems to come slowly, but looking back, there have been huge changes in our local government and our relationship with the United States. American Samoa became a U.S. territory by deed of cession starting in 1900. The Matai, or chiefs, of Tutuila ceded the island to the United States in 1900. Manua followed in 1904. Swains Island joined the territory in 1925 by an act of Congress. Authority was initially placed with the U.S. Navy, which oversaw the territory until 1951. Authority was then transferred to the Department of the Interior in 1951, where it is currently. And Congress has vested the Secretary of Interior with authority to veto any local law. The people of American Samoa can have a lot of influence and self-determination when it's needed. For instance, after World War II, U.S. Department of Interior sponsored an attempt to incorporate American Samoa, called the Organic Act No. 4500. This was defeated in Congress, an accomplishment primarily through the efforts of American Samoa's chiefs, led by High Talking Chief Tuiasosopo Mariota. It was the efforts of these chiefs that led to the creation of a local legislature, the American Samoa Fono. That was a huge step for our islands. In time, the Navy-appointed governor was replaced first by an appointed one, my father, Uifatali Peter Coleman, another major step forward to have a governor from our own people. He helped lead the forming of a constitution that started in 1960. The Constitution took effect on July 1, 1967, yet another big step. In 1977, along came another important step. The first constitutional elections were that year, electing my father as governor by the choice of the people, the voters, no longer by appointment of the federal government. In Washington, only handfuls of people truly understand most of this. In fact, I'm often asked questions. Sometimes I'm even asked, when will the two Samoas merge? I answer, when Canada merges with the United States. We are called American Samoa for a reason. Much like the US and Canada, we share a lot of customs and language with our nearest neighbor, independent Samoa, but they are and will remain a friend and neighbor, not the same country. We are very proud of our ties to the United States. That said, we have one big difference. Unlike other U.S. territories who are U.S. citizens, American Samoans are U.S. nationals. Neither citizens nor nationals of U.S. territories vote in federal elections when residing in their territories, and they pay their taxes locally, not federally. On the flip side, we do participate in most federal funding programs such as Medicaid. These differences are designed in large part to protect our land and our culture by our choice and by agreement with the federal government. Any fundamental changes to our Constitution must be approved by both houses of Congress. For instance, there's a court case in which it appears we defeated, but that would have compelled United States citizenship on our people. Now, U.S. citizenship can be a wonderful thing, but it absolutely must be a matter of self-determination for American Samoa. Our people have to make that decision for themselves. So far, the U.S. courts have agreed to this principle in several major rulings. Because of this, we look forward to a future that maintains Samoa, and that's part of the purpose of our Constitution. Enjoy your day learning about our Constitution. Soifua maia manuia.